The only thing left that you need is a mouth that talks and feet that walk, and you do not have to spend all that money on all that stuff. You're in business, and you can make that your business. I want you to be a profitable real estate agent. I can take two real estate agents, both making $100,000 a year. After talking to those agents, I can put one aside and show you the one who is making more money, just based on expenses. I can show you some real estate agents who make $100,000 a year and yet are only making $60,000 a year because they spend so much money to make what they're making. My nephew is one. He works for one of those companies where he pays a desk fee. Then he has to provide everything, like if someone answers phones, he doesn't have that. Everything he does, he pays for himself. Every promotion, every advertisement. He got into real estate. He did not go to work for Weichert like his Aunt Tony suggested, even though he got into real estate, because of his Aunt Tony's success in real estate. He used to sit in my office when he was a kid and staple my business card on the thing. So he got his interest in real estate. Yet, he knows it all. So he went to work for one of those other companies. Well, first year, he got into real estate during the best of times when all you had to do was have a license and you made money. Things were selling like crazy. He was the rookie of the year for his office. And he let me know about it. And I said, that's nice, but how much did you really make? And he said, I just told you I was the rookie of the year. I made $100,000. I said, no, you didn't make $100,000 because I know what you're paying in a desk fee. Knock that off. So now you're making, and I think it was down to $85,000. And I said, now, I want you to go back and sit down and figure out your expenses, like you're going to have to do for your accountant, and then call me back and tell me what you made. And he did. Sheepishly, he made $60,000. He spent $40,000 to make $60,000. Now that is wrong. That is not where you want to be. That's not what you want to be doing. And as soon as the market changed, my nephew was out of business as well. He got back in here recently because he thought things were getting better. See, good agents are in this business no matter what the market is doing. They stay while the others come and go, and they're the ones who reap the benefits. But he got out, now he's back in, and now he's talking about going to work for Weichert finally. Because he's realized what he needs and the support that he needs, and that it may look like he's making a little less than what he'd be making if he were doing it the way he was doing, but in the long run, he was making far less than the Weichert agents in his family. You want to be a profitable real estate agent, so watch your expenses, and you don't need anything else. You know that Jim Weichert is known as the most profitable real estate man in the industry. Why? Because more of what comes into the company remains there as profit. He's very careful about expenses. He researches, thinks it through before he makes decisions on expenditures. What will I really get back from this? And what could I do to work the business versus buy the business, which is what so many people try to do. They try to buy their business versus working it. I'd rather work it and put all that money in my pocket. Make sure your business card has your photograph on it. Without it, you've wasted your money. People keep a card, and when they see it every now and then in their kitchen drawer or in their wallet, they say, what did I keep this for? I don't even remember what this was. And they throw it away, and once they see a photograph, it's your picture, it's you, that reminds them why they kept the card. Oh, that's right, I wanted to keep this person's card. I really liked him. I thought that he sounded very professional. I was going to use him if I ever sell my house. Have your business card on there as identification. Name badge and career apparel, we've talked about. Card signs, we've talked a little bit about the internet, and some of these things we'll be talking about a along the way. What I want to do now is think a little bit outside the box. I want you to try something different. Try something new. And here's some ideas, and maybe you have some suggestions as well that you would like to share with the group. You're new in a business that's old. You are a new agent in a business full of older agents. Old meaning they've been in real estate for a while. Some are very successful, and that's what you're up against. So you have to think of ways to set yourself apart from the crowd. One way that some people do that, not something I did, but I know some people who will think of some kind of slogan for themselves, such as Jean, Jean, the woman, and Gene, Gene, the man. They work together as a team, and their slogan is, "There's nothing better than a great pair of jeans." They put it on their business card. They put it on anything they send out in the way of a printed item. It's on their sign.
I like it.
They're setting themselves apart. They're trying to get people to remember them who might not remember their name. Spouses selling houses. We have the lady who, on her sign, she has a billboard, on her billboard as well, and on anything that she does, it's her standing, and seated next to her is a big Irish setter dog. There's nothing, her slogan is your best friend in real estate. And people remember her because of that dog.
Of course. That's cute.
In Gulf Shores, Alabama, on the way to Gulf Shores, Alabama, the main road to the beach, huge billboard. Been there for years. Changes, but it's been there for years. Guy in a business suit, standing in the wave, going up to about his knees. He works at the beach. And everybody talks about that billboard. You know the man who's on the billboard with the water? That's who we used. So you might build your top of mind awareness that way. Another is to think outside the box as to where you can get business. Don't just follow the crowd. Think about where you might get business. Let's say, are you putting your business cards everywhere you possibly can? Where did you put your business cards? Who did you get it into the hands of yesterday? How many people got a business card from you yesterday? None? Why not? One? How come so little? Why not? Where did you go yesterday? Where did you go? If you were prospecting, you would have gotten your card in lots of people's hands. And that's what you should have been doing if you're in the real estate business. The real estate business is a full-time job. And if you work it, just like you would work any other job where you put in a good 8 to 10 hours a day, oh my gosh, you're going to make all the money you could possibly dream of. But if you play and you are going to, work an hour or two here this week, and maybe you'll talk to somebody when you're, go to a meeting, that's not really working real estate. You're probably not going to make the kind of living that I'm thinking that you probably want to make. I'm assuming that those of you in the class are looking to make a really good living. If that assumption's wrong, then you don't need to worry about all of this. But if that assumption is correct, then you're going to need to work it. So everywhere you go, all day long, I want you to have cards in your pocket. And that includes women. I do not want to meet you and ask you for your card to have you digging for it. And you know what I mean. Digging is what we do in our purse. We dig to try to find what's in there along with all the other stuff that is. We know we've got a business card somewhere. It's in that cute little case that somebody gave us. And it's in the case, it's in that little velvet pack so it doesn't get, scratched. We got to find it though. And by now, the people pumping gas across from us at the gas which means never mind. If you can't find your card, you're certainly not a real estate agent. I'm going to use.
I'll find it.
Ladies,
Come
start buying clothes with pockets. Have you ever noticed how if you ask a man for a business card, it's right there in your hand within seconds? Because they have pockets. Front pockets. Breast pockets. Back pockets. We don't usually have pockets. We need
I'm
pockets.
discriminated against.
We need to
again.
have our business cards where we can bring them out real quick and hand it to somebody.
Exercise.
How many people did we get it in the hands of? Did we drop our clothes off at the dry cleaners? Why didn't we give a business card to the person who took the clothes? Why didn't we leave one in the coat pocket for the person who cleans
It
his
has my
hands?
old cards out.
We went to a store and bought something. Why didn't we give our business card to the person who we paid? Why not? It's a fraction of a cent, that business card. You can afford to give it out. It's not like wasting money. It's one of those cheap things.
Sorry. What are you doing?
Can I tell you a story? It's true. I don't tell them if they're not. This is a true story. First class I ever did for Weichert. They sent me to Charleston, South Carolina. We had our class. There was about 60 people in the class. It was a big hotel, like a convention type hotel. So it's very expensive. It's one of the reasons we do webinars now. But it was very expensive for the students to stay there because even lunch, all they had was this big buffet, but it was expensive. But most people did it because it was convenient. I noticed one guy never did. He always came into the lobby with a fast food bag, and he ate his lunch sitting in the lobby. Didn't think much about it, except for maybe that he was smart. I could afford to eat there because Weichert was paying for mine since I was working for them. But the thing is that that's about all I thought about it. And then toward the end of the class, he raised his hand. He said, "Tony, can I tell you a story?" I said, "Yeah, please do." He said, "Well, I'm getting my first listing." I said, "Well, great." And I said, "How did you get it?" He said, "Because of you." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "Well, first day you told us that we should give our card out everywhere, no matter where." I said, "Yes, I did." And he said, "Well, I started driving through the Wendy's drive-through for lunch every day. And there was a kid, same kid every day working there, who handed me my food. So first day I just gave him my card and I drove off. Second day I gave him my card and I said, keep my card, you never know when you might need it. Have a nice day, and I drove off. He said third day, gave him my card, and I said, now son, you keep my card, because you might even hear of someone who's looking for a good realtor, real estate agent, I think is what he said. And he drove off. Then he got a phone call. It's a woman. She heard he was a good real estate agent, and she was looking for someone to sell her house. And would he come over? And he said, yes, I certainly will. And by the way, do you mind telling me who recommended me? She said, my son. And he said, who is your son? And she told him. And he did not recognize the name. And he said, and could you just remind me how I know your son? And she said, well, you're a customer of his at Wendy's. Oh, yes, I know your son. That's how he got his first listing. And again, it is that easy. But you got to do it. You got to get your card in people's hands. Did you go through a drive-thru at a fast food place yesterday? Did you give them your card? All right, and then I want you to think about other places where you can get business from people. What about financial planners? They know people who need real estate. What about moving companies? Get to know the owners of moving companies. This is an I scratch your back, you scratch mine business. So I'm going to give that moving company guy a stack of my cards, and I'm going to say, hey, can I have a stack of yours? I'm always running into people now who need to move. Maybe we can start a referral business. You refer to me, I'll refer to you. They're going to think that's great. I have that relationship with lots of people, always have, no matter what I'm doing. And then that brings me to storage companies, those storage buildings where people put their stuff when they're trying to clear the clutter from their house so they can sell it. Or because they're going to be moving and they have to move maybe in some kind of interim move before they move to their final move. And don't forget to think outside the box to people like managers of motels, hotels, bed and breakfasts, inns. Go to them. Ask them if they would like a nice packet of real estate information, maybe some coupons for some discounts for dinners and things that you could compile for them and have in the room. I went to Beaufort, North Carolina, and it's waterfront. There was a bed and breakfast. It's actually a little inn that I stayed at, and I noticed on the bedside stand there was this beautiful booklet that a real estate agent had put there. Her card was in there. It was attached. There was some information about her, but it didn't start out with that. It was basically where to go in Beaufort, where to eat in Beaufort. Here's some coupons for Beaufort. And it was very nicely done. I asked the innkeeper about it. He said, well, she just approached me, and I thought it might be something people would enjoy. And so I told her she could bring me some every week. That's all you need to do. When I first moved to Alabama, I bought a property that was zoned commercial. It was in a residential area, but zoned commercial. So it wasn't selling because people thought that was a negative. So they actually stopped telling people about that. They didn't promote that in their ads and things. And I found out that it was commercial, and I bought it on purpose because I turned it into a bed and breakfast. And then I got it up and running, and I sold the business and the house, the building as well, and to somebody who wanted a bed and breakfast. But my point is that in owning that bed and breakfast, I can't tell you how many people called for a room, and I said, well, what brings you to Fairhope, Alabama? They said, well, of course, the shopping, but then we're going to look for a place to retire to. So guess what? A real estate agent should have gotten in with me. You'll hear me use those words a lot. Get in with people. Knock on the door. Talk to the bed and breakfast owner. Ask them if people come and stay there who are looking for real estate. Could you have a stack of their cards? You'll tell people to stay there. Could you give them a stack of yours? You're happy to pick people up right at the door and take them to see property. I actually did the opposite. Instead of a real estate agent approaching me, I, as bed and breakfast owner, approached a realtor and said, let's do this. You send people to me, I'll send people to you. Today, that was 20 years ago when I moved here. Today, what I would do is I would have my license at Weichert Referral Associates. And then I get a referral fee for referring people to her. So that's another part of all of this. You want to get people to refer people to you? Be able to legally pay them a referral fee. Now at this point in time, that wasn't available. I wasn't even working for Weichert at the time, so that wasn't available. But I can tell you that she always rewarded me in the best way she could. I got beautiful floral arrangements on a regular basis for my table at the bed and breakfast from her. When she couldn't make the theater tickets, she gave them to me. So she was showing me a give back. All right, so get together with people like that. And remember, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. All right, turn to page 11. Now, personal marketing can cost some money, so you need a budget. On page 12 is a form on which you can create your budget. Ask your broker what things cost. You can, of course, go onto the approved suppliers. You don't want to be a secret agent, so you're going to have to spend a little money. But we've already know what we're going to get. We're going to get a name tag. We're going to get business cards. Write that one down. We're going to get some career apparel. What was the other one? Card signs, right? Card signs. Those are the cheap dates. That's how you start out. The rest of it comes, if you want it, when you're making money, but not before you're